And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Shadow Empire, in our militia Fist-led spoiled democracy. This is likely to be the last stream in this run, as I said in the last one, because we're within 1 victory percent of sort of victory here. We killed 3 infantry and 10 tanks over the last end turn. It's round 146. We have 11 decisions. Roaming Thieves will be one of them. Roaming Thieves will be another one of them. Work crew accident, that's 3 of those 11 decisions. Replacement for what do there is 4. This is just a routine one, so we just hit confirm. Bring up the profile here. That's just confirm. That's just to confirm. Here we're going to do no new orders. I am specifically waiting for a tech to finish before we do the next design, specifically advanced sensors. This will double the recon value on all our troops going forward, designed after it. So we're close enough to having it done that I would like to have it for all new units. Petition. We let them petition. So we just get some rest. Major worker strike to pay off with money. You can see this slowly raising our democracy. Full support to them. Critical success. Good. Full support. Regular success. Accident. We'll go with the morality hit here. Does damage our word score. Our word score is not very good at this point, so it just is as it is. And we accept the demand. Zone upgrade. Bellis to Major City. Okay. Bellis, I think we already level upgraded last couple turns ago, so it's still working on the last bureaucratic office. How did the construction go? We saw that the Bellis was delayed. Bellis was delayed, Montana was delayed. Montana... Trying to figure out if I want to raise wages. We'll raise wages here a little bit.
Roger that.
By a little bit, we're going to double it. So that's more than a little bit. And then same sort of thing. And Bellis. Bellis has already got a pretty high wage. Don't really want to raise Bellis more. Yeah, the worker happiness is low, but their wage is high. So raising the wage is probably not the solution there. We didn't really gain any victory score over the intern. We're still at 49.6. I think one of the main ways we've been getting victory score is actually the other group's losing score. Because if they lose population, it subtracts from their score. You finished. We are going to want to continue expanding here. In particular, we do want to continue expanding that truck hub. So start you building. It's just going to require you to have more workers, so we'll just dump all the colonists in as workers.
Sir.
Should be more than enough. And then for leveling up, you've still got another 4,000 to go. Still going to be low. And yeah, these guys... Yeah, I suppose they did just leave the crucial hex there uncovered. So maybe circling those guys. Don't know what's got me coughing. want to get too far ahead, because again, I'm not having the political power to prevent these guys from getting a little ornery.
Understood.
Roll that. That's okay. That's delay the inevitable. That's good. We may potentially be able to delay that inevitable perpetually, so I'm not going to actually assume too much that it's actually going to come. It may be delayed enough that I can pretend like it's not coming. Yeah, we're pushing them back. We'll see if they pull back. They got a pretty deep salient here. We may attempt to break these guys out or break in to save these guys. And I think that is the field motion for the turn. I have built up power consumption to the point where I am, in fact, losing power. Oh, and you want to keep expanding. So that's the everything that finished, the two finished things that finished with speed-up replacements for. The capital. Where's my capital? There's my capital. I want to build more power. We need more power. Oil power plant is tempting. And it's tempting for the reason that it's just very efficient. Right? It's construction point efficient. 5 turns, we get 2,500 power, but it also eats petrol, and I would like to have my petrol available for other things. On the other hand, Serpentization plant is far less effective in construction points and import goods, but it basically just costs water, and this is an ice map. We're literally finding water. We're losing 1,800 water a turn due to surplus that the market can't heat. So the ongoing costs to Serpentization plant here is trivial. So let's start building a Serpentization plant. I do have the high-tech parts to build that, so we're not concerned on that front. And I suppose I haven't built the heavy industry. Although, seeing as I'm running a power deficit, I should probably not build a heavy industry right now, because I don't have the power to power. I got enough of a reserve that it wouldn't be the end of the world, but... Then yeah, definitely don't necessarily want to consume more fuel if I don't have more fuel potential. Yeah, we'll do what we're doing. I suppose I've got enough heavy metals as well that we can do solar panel field for a little more power as well. Okay. Cycle the turn, see how the situation evolves. Again, we're at 49.6. It's not going to take us much to tick this over into victory. I think taking a real city will be all that it needs. There may in fact be a second city up here at this point. One moderate to major city, and that'll be enough, I think. So any turn at this point may be the last turn, as the enemy valiantly resists our efforts to advance. And really what's stopping us is that most of our numbers are obsolete infantry. Obsolete militia infantry. If I get the cards I need to be able to professionalize the militia on whim from Spoiled Democracy, then I can fix them being obsolete. And or if we unlock Tier 4 and what is professionalized already suddenly then becomes a whole lot better. Either of those I think will sort of unstick this slow grunting offensive and end the game real quick. If it doesn't end before either of those occur. Although I do see more and more troops showing up, at least in the south. There's a decent possibility this actually does stall out. Again, assuming we don't win. We're not, again, 0.4 off. We're not far off. With how the NPC major factions recruit, there's simply the potential that they recruit themselves into a lose state. Draft a few too many people, because soldiers I don't think consider count towards victory point population. I think it's just population and workers in cities that count towards the population score. That's one way the AI sort of drafts themselves into a hole, victory score-wise, because if they just draft too many of their pops, their victory score actually goes down. And yeah, we're watching what's happening around the world. But unless one of the other two majors declares war on us. And in fact, actually, at this point, if they declared war and they weren't quite prepared for it, they'd sort of just hands the victory, because I think it wouldn't be that hard to pick up 0.4 victory score worth of hexes off of the other majors that would declare on us. In a long drawn-out fight, we're not well equipped to be fighting multiple powers. At the moment, our recruitment's fairly low. And all my professionals are equipped or deployed on one front. So we'd be relying on militia in way too many theaters. But in the short term, when the militia are doing what the militia does best, which is being everywhere in large quantities, there's lots of exposed territory that would rapidly fall. Be hard to hold, but would fall very quickly. And that's all we would need to win. Round 147, we killed 1,300 infantry. We lost 1,100. We have 6 decisions. That was a pretty bloody turn. Scavenging points still depleted. So I may start running low on metal and rare earth metals, because I was using scavenging for a bunch of stuff for effectively getting my metals. Deep core mining completed. Discovered RPG infantry army. That's something we will want to research fairly soon. Populous target leader. This is Governor Bradley. I'm going to go for the virtue increase. It's going to piss off the head of the faction because it's a faction member, but that's fine.
Sir, yes, sir. Understood.
University Hospital Barracks, Hydroponics. Yeah, it's probably time to pick up the quality of life buildings, so University Barracks, Hospital, VidCom, that quartet should probably get researched. Geosonics is tempting, but I've got enough industry at the moment that we can sort of brute force things if I need to. Yeah, the other thing to be doing would otherwise be to machinery, trying to sneak into automation for battle dress. I'm actually surprised how few military techs there are in machinery, so I would have to pick up another eco one in here. Probably the other volcanic energy tapping or water purification, although power banks again, probably potentially useful. But yeah, here we're gonna go hospital. I think getting hospitals everywhere would be terrible. Allow that battle dojo to continue. We are trying to go enforcement, so getting more enforcement is not terrible.
Sir, yes, sir.
Protests. I need more money. And getting more money is fairly easy when you have such resource abundance as I do. How much food? Okay, so I don't want to export all the food. It could literally export all the food, which is more than we want to do. Metal's probably actually a little bit to go. I got a decent chunk of metal piled up now.
Yes, sir. Roger that.
Blackdorf. Sure. So, Blackdorf. Grab a bureaucratic office. Victory overview. We're up to 49.7, so another 0.1 progress. Bureaucratic office finished in Rootwood. Rootwood is a level 4 city, so we can expand that office.
Affirmative.
Mossmark, worker apartments completed, and the social housing completed. So we'll continue upgrading those. If we can make the
Sir, yes, sir.
capital a more interesting place for people to go, then more people will move into the capital,
Sir, yes, sir.
which will allow us to get access, in particular, to higher tiers of, well, we actually hit the maximum high command bunker, I suppose. The higher tiers of the bureaucratic office there, that goes up to 7, and we got most of our industry in the capital, so just being able to make the capital better is not terrible. Just sort of overwhelm this pocket with raw numbers. Yeah, we can do that.
No problemo.
Here's this. Rise like us.
Not bad. Okay. So most of these guys got pretty low readiness from us doing that attack, so that's probably where we're not gonna really rearrange the pocket now that we've cleared it, but definitely got them on the back foot. Replenishment, we'll recruit some more troopers to do deployment. Armor is just waiting on capacity to ship, I suspect. The struggle with having logistics, but not great logistics. Tanks are, you know, heavy. Hard to transport by truck. Pretty easy to transport by rail, but hard by truck. And then we're still working on you. 3 turns left.
Aye, aye, sir.
One more turn at this rate, we might have enough to get you to level 3. In which case, again, more bureaucratic office, improved social housing. We only really want to get up to 3. But yeah, get up to 3, and I'll start thinking about trying to get a city up in the northeast. So these guys can actually get back to moving forward in large amounts. .32's not too terrible. Would like it higher, because then I'm less likely to have a bad turn where I can't do anything about it, but it's high enough. Given my low blue bar. Anyway, we got stuff going on there. Victory is looking fine. Orgs, model design's waiting for us to finish the advanced sensors, which are, well, if we have a good roll like we just had, 1 turn out. I'm going to guess 2. I'm probably going to be wrong, but I'm going to guess they're going to be 2 turns out. I'll be happily wrong if they're only 1. I suppose once I'm done with advanced sensors, I should really start trying to hyper explosive. I'm not going to wait or hyper explosive to do the infantry. Technically, this would be a buff to the infantry. Well, it'd be a buff for the infantry against the infantry. It doesn't affect, because this is a 50% more soft attack. It won't affect the fighting for tanks, against tanks. I think our infantry after the improvement should probably be good enough anyway. That I'm more worried about just getting the charge Gauss on. The charge Gauss from Gauss is like a 50% increase, so don't need to double stack the bonuses. Although it would be a good idea in the long run to double stack the bonuses. Have the patience. I suppose it'll be a good thing for 5th gen, because we'll almost certainly have the hyper explosive for 5th gen. Not that I think this game's going to last long enough to get 5th gen. Yeah, not surprising if we got hit with an artillery strike that they were able to come in with enough forces to drive us out of Hex. The poor militia are not really equipped for dedicated attacks anyway. Dedicated defenses. So if a dedicated attack comes in with artillery support, I think they're going to have a very bad day. Okay, we're watching this intern here. We're close enough to winning that any turn, if something really changes very rapidly, we get a very rapidly win here. I could imagine that if like multiple enemies do like volunteer drive or draft soldiers or whatever, that their cumulative victory score could drop enough that we could immediately win. But I'm not expecting it this turn. We're incrementally moving forward. I don't think we moved enough to move more than like a point. We need 0.3 more to win, right? So, in fact, 0.3 might not be enough depending on rounding. Round 148, we killed 5 infantry over the intern and 10 tanks. We lost 600 to do it. We have 7 decisions awaiting us. We're now in a time of efficiency. Research on hospitals complete. We've discovered electric engines. Bureaucratic assets reach 62. Yeah,
Understood.
true. I think we're already doing that. We're gonna do none
Understood.
here. Well, this is a good question. Do I try to pick enough up that I can find and discover Bell Dress? You know, hold off a little bit, because until I get advanced sensors, I can't discover resonance. And we would like resonance as well. It's basically advanced sensors version 2. Both of these double the recon on a unit. So at this point, you're 4 times base. And that probably makes a better 4th than running 2 eco. Because I would rather... We've got other stuff we want to do with eco, right? We want the quality of life buildings, we want geotectonics, so on and so forth. But so next up, let's do barracks. Zone, let them petition me. Minor worker strike, give them some of their demands. Give them some of their demands. Governor. Camp 1 or Camp 1, or I can roll for governor. Raise your opinion.
Understood.
There we go. So delayed that. Probably want to raise your opinion.
Understood.
Maybe not enough to stop that, but probably enough. Made it at least less likely. I got enough political power. Let's have the emotional guy here. Cap 2. He's got some oratory, he's got some diplomacy, so not super terrible. And we'll grab the loyal. See how good a loyal one is. You're a little bit more better for the governorship, so we'll see who gets. Either of them get put forward. No, neither of them got put forward. Actually, just really bad. So let's try to get you fired.
Roger that.
That then pulls one of the guys out of the reserve into the choice. I would have actually preferred the other one, but we'll take you because you're better than nothing.
Aye, aye, sir.
Okay, colonists go in here.
Aye, aye, sir.
So next turn you should have enough for the promotion. In fact, you probably have enough that I could call up and do the upgrade, but I don't really have enough political power for that, so we're not going to do that. We only just cut them off, so we'll just let them sort of simmer in their cutoff position there for a turn. 49.8, yeah, so getting real close. We're definitely at the point where if we, like, take a city, the game ends. It's a grinding, slow offensive forward, so taking a city is gonna take a while, but... Okay, how did the construction go? Bureaucratic office, delayed but working. Everything going at speed. A little bit delayed at Blattdorf, everything else going at speed. Okay. So let's go city by city. So Mossmark's already got a bunch of stuff going, so let's not toss more in Mossmark. Austerlitz doesn't have anything going, so it's probably a good place to do some construction. I could use more power, so let's go ahead and grab a solar panel field, because it's just machine parts and rare earth metal.
Roger that.
Cost-effective, reasonably cost-effective to build. And then also from a government standpoint, let's get some hospitals going. There's extra health. I believe quality of life health also helps with raw population growth. I'm not sure if there's a place where I can see what's affecting population growth. Population growth has decreased due to low virtue. Okay, and even with that small decrease, it was for inhabitants. So I think we want more quality of life. Ideally, probably want like 500 quality of life because it's a level 5 city. So 1 or 2 levels of hospital should be good to go there. Go ahead and start building the first one. York. Not currently building anything at York. Same sort of logic. Gonna toss in a solar panel field for a little bit of power. And hospital.
Aye, sir.
Bellis is building stuff and is kind of somewhat struggling. Rootwood is. Neris is. Minos isn't, so we'll do power.
Order received.
And hospital.
Order received.
Boston isn't currently. I guess. Why aren't you? Oh, because you're level 1 and the forests have been pushed back far enough that it needs to be high level 1 to do anything. Fair enough. I was about to go, like, why aren't you working? I'm not going to fix why it's not working. Build a solar panel. And...
Roger that.
Montana is already building stuff. You're not building stuff. Once again, going to do solar panel.
Received.
And hospital.
Order received.
The solar panel will actually power the hospital and provide some surplus power, so.
Copy that. Copy that.
Lincoln. Again. Gonna do the good old 1-2 punch.
Roger that.
Solar panel into that hospital.
Roger that.
Blattendorf is building stuff. You're not building stuff.
Aye, sir. Aye, sir.
Okay. So yeah, to be fair, I'm not worried about quality of life dragging down militancy. At least I shouldn't be needing to. Did one of my militia laws get removed? I never got around to fixing it. Which is decreasing. Laws. Nope, all 4 militia laws are in. No, that's not what's going on. Yeah, in theory, I should have very reduced effect from high civilization on militancy. It might be, it should be a double minus 50%. So I assumed that was minus 100%. It might be minus 50% twice, so it might technically be quarter effect. But yeah, I'm not worried about the civilization score going up. Reducing militancy. Just making the cities better. To be fair, making the cities better will also help with virtue. That's one of the things that's getting in our way. So virtue is pretty bad. Is it civic resilience? Anyway, I'm not going to focus on that because that might not have enough time to really kick in. 49.8. Done our advancing for the turn. Tech-wise, Advanced Center should be done next turn. So next turn we'll call up the model designer and tell him to start researching next-gen infantry, which I think we're probably ready for. Yeah, 82%. So we're ready to upgrade. Like 80-ish% is usually optimal. Somewhere between 80 and 100%. The rate that they get better, get more field testing, gets slower the closer to max field testing they're at. So they go to 150, they're at 147, they started at 133, so they're 82% of the way from 133 to 150. And that last 3 points, which is actually 18% of what they can go, is the hardest points. And then the next generation will take in the it'll take in the 147 as the min roll, and then it'll have the max go up a little bit. It will chase towards the next max, rinse and repeat. So you can get better troops outside of technology. Although I suppose the concern there is I've maybe just queued up a whole bunch of stuff that I don't have the metal to build. We may be finding out I don't have the metal going forward. Because a lot of the scraps come offline, hasn't it? Over the last couple turns. Although I'm relatively rich, I could buy metal. Yeah, let's just buy a chunk of metal.
Sir.
Which I do understand is a little bit yo-yoing because I think I just sold a bunch of metal, but that'll delay the rate we're running out of metal, hopefully. And push you forward for the extra reconnaissance, push you forward for the extra reconnaissance. Let's cycle the turn and see what happens to victory score. Only 0.2 to go, so any turn here could be the last turn. It's most likely going to be if we take a city, because the cities are going to be worth more than like 0.1%. But again, population, the 50% from population is all population in cities, doesn't include military. So the AI is a little bit prone to recruiting population into the military. So if they just draft enough people, we could potentially win on any given turn. Although their capacity to swing the population score is kind of dependent on them having population. I do have more than half the planetary population at this point, so that might be getting harder and harder for them to negatively affect their own scores that way. Okay, and we're watching the intern here. Yeah, because I can see the other majors are fighting each other, which is another thing that depletes their population score, I suppose, as they recruit to fight each other, and then obviously exchange casualties back and forth. Got some marauders taking some of my territory there. So yeah, I suspect this is not a turn where we've picked up much score, because we just had a bunch of hexes be lost. Should be coming around us soon. Yeah, round 149. We killed 800 infantry. We lost 300 infantry over the intern. We have 8 decisions awaiting us. Waste disposal accident, waste disposal accident, so that's 2 of the 8. What to replace barracks is 3 of the 8, 4 of the 8. That's probably actually 5 of 8. We'll want to place the automated clinic. It's not a decision, though. You want total power over your estate. We are going Fist. I don't mind getting a little bit of autocracy.
Aye, aye, sir.
Org decision. We'll go university here. It's cheap,
Roger
it'll
that.
finish real quick. Military. We're gonna go mines. And we're gonna go mines for a reason. And the reason is it's gonna give me the 4th to get into high tech. The toss-up between cluster bombs and mines and quad machine guns is a toss. Which one of those you want to do is up to you. I don't have the logistics for quad on the attack at the moment. I don't think I necessarily have the effectiveness for heavy cluster bombs either. So mines is of the 3 military techs is the one I can sort of get to work here, just so I can start discovering the high tech.
Yes, sir.
And then here, it's brought it up because it's thinking, hey, you probably want to do heavy tanks. No. Infantry. Start development. Build upon Trooper 3. Trooper 3 was using Gauss. We're going to go to charge Gauss. Biggest thing is just more firepower. They were also running combat armor. We're going to go up a tier. We're going to go heavy combat armor.
Aye, aye, sir.
Bigger and better. Yes, you have full support to mitigate the waste disposal accident. Full support to
Copy
mitigate the
that.
waste disposal accident. Mystic Temple. I'm not running merit or commerce, so we say nay. Mannix to
Aye,
level
aye,
3.
sir.
Yes, please. Okay, so in Mannix, what do I need? What do I want to prioritize? So at this point, I don't necessarily care about expanding the city. So expanding the social housing is less important. Already got the clinic. I do want the bureaucrat office, so let's build government
aye,
office, and then we'll send these guys as workers.
Aye, aye, sir.
No, victory-wise, we've actually still trended up, 49.9. So, I think the victory is nigh. It's just not here yet. We did blow through a lot of metal, so I should probably not add more things to the queue. Soil panel field, to be fair, is costing rare earth metals, so I could do that, but we're also going through rare earth metals pretty quickly too. Most of everything proceeded at speed, so other than that one period office, we're just not going to add anything for the moment, because I'm worried we're going to run out of metal if I do. Oh, let's get you walking back into proper supply. If I had the industry to be casually just pushing into the mountains, roads into the mountains, we could be expanding there. I do not, though. I don't have enough capacity to strategically move down the road. Gonna try to cut them off at the pass. Can I do the opposite? Push someone out? Yeah, okay. And we don't hopefully lose the pass to some marauder. No good marauder, taking my stuff.
Mission accomplished.
Okay. And then we're back over to the Western Front. Yeah, time to crush that pocket.
Engaging enemy. Mission
That was
successful.
a nice decisive attack. Spread out the professionals, so there's less likely to have a compromised portion in the line anywhere. And yeah, they've got a good enough blocking force. I don't think I'm going to be able to push through to that city anytime quick. Had some report of there being a named location up here. Might have been a named location, not a city, is what it might be the case. But we've got the road heading north. We're circling the top of their line. Victory at 49.9, so pretty good sign that we will be potentially winning soon. And then make sure we've got replacements for combat casualties. Oh, did you finish the truck station improvement? No, that's slated for next turn. Again, that's more throughput. Although now we're at the point where it's the weird state of the road network that's being the issue more than anything. Just clean up the AI's weird roads a bit. It should help out a little bit with logistics getting where it needs to go and not just being barfed everywhere. Yeah, I think we're at the point where we're also taking action point issues. That's probably why we're running out of action points. Like, because here it's coming from the good place, right? And then we're at 91. So then we're over 120 there. Yeah, so we're an action point issue area. So let's expand the zone borders a little bit. Okay, so with that, this area in here should just defect to the zone. Not that the zone necessarily needs it. And then here we'll do a supply base.
Aye, aye, sir.
That will give us a little more action points and stuff coming off the end of the rail network and onto the road network. Push just that little bit farther. We'll take the supply base to max level. Then I'll slap a train station in the city, at which point I'll then push the rail network all the way up to the front. And if the rail network all the way in the front, then it's not enough. I'm not sure what's going to be enough at that point. Although at that point we should hopefully win, so hopefully I don't need to figure that out this run. Yeah, orgs. All done, we just assigned a new model. We just finished the tech, we're on the next one. Finished barracks, okay. Oh, and I've got zone, we got the artifact deposit, automated clinic, the capital is good, you're good, York. York has one. Bellis. Bellis doesn't have one.
Roger.
Have a clinic, Bellis. And then do a quick double check on the neighbors. 29, we'd like to be a little bit higher, so let's hit you.
Understood.
Diplomacy. Good old bribery. You're at 60 or at 54. That's perfectly fine. Yeah, let's cycle the turn. And yeah, we'll cycle the turn. We might technically here win. We're only 0.1 off. If we cycle this end turn and it says we've won, I'll go ahead and do the overview of how the run went. If it doesn't, we're gonna put a part break in because we're up on the point where it's time for a part break. So whether this ends up being a long part or whether this ends up being a regular length part or a long part, it's going to come down to whether we win this turn. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you can probably check the video length and find out. It's much more than an hour, then we probably won. Sorry, Twitch, you've got to watch it live, so you probably can't guess whether or not we were winning here. Well, maybe you can guess. You won't be able to just prognosticate based off of the video length because we're streaming live. Okay, should be coming around to us shortly. Oh, it looks like we have one more major to go here before it comes around to us. Marauders attacking us. There's a subunit of Confeds with first generation militia, basically. Okay, so we've not been presented with it telling us we've won, so I'm going to go ahead and put a part break in here. If you're watching on YouTube, we will have another part up tomorrow. I suspect tomorrow's part will mostly be the after-action report, because we're only like 0.1% off of winning. If you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hang around. We are going to record 3 more parts tonight, although only one part probably will be in Shadow Empire. The other 2 will probably be in a different game. We'll be picking up next time on round 150. As we respond to having 120 infantry, or having killed 120 infantry at the cost of 300 of our own. We'll also have 3 decisions. So until next time, I'm going to wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part and/or stream, and bye for now.